bringing new type of news.
New insights, new styles, and new topics every day.
We are News Generations.
Making news just for you. It's December 22nd here in Seoul. I'm Shin-Yoon, and you're watching News Generation. Joining me in the studio is Cheska Dain-ha.
Merry Christmas,
Merry
everyone!
Christmas! Christmas is in the air!
It's in the air!
All right, and Im Sang-yeong.
Happy Friday and Merry Christmas, Cheska and you.
Merry Christmas. Now, both are here to speak on behalf of people in their 20s and 30s. As usual, let's start with our news feed, which covers different hashtags and news items that have been trending on social media over the past 24 hours. Photos of Korea's giant panda celebrity Fu Bao have gone viral. It shows the Korean-born giant panda sliding and tumbling down a snowy hill in Everland theme park. Unfortunately, this winter will be Fu Bao's last one before she's scheduled to move to China early next year, just ahead of turning 4. All giant pandas are owned by the Chinese government under the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora signed in 1973 to better protect endangered species. Now, as a way to grapple with the lack of childcare personnel, Busan City has decided to turn some senior centers into childcare ones during the evening. The port city on Thursday said they would receive volunteers from senior centers to take care of toddlers and elementary school students up to the 3rd grade from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Only 15 slots will be open per day and will be running on reservations. And you may have heard many self-employed owners going out of business after mistakenly selling alcohol or cigarettes to minors. But the government has recently decided to ease penalties against these business owners who are tricked into selling such goods to minors after treating them with good faith. That's mainly because some teens would intentionally trick them into selling alcohol and cigarettes to them and then threaten to report them to the police if they wouldn't continue. Now, under the Youth Protection Act, anyone caught selling alcohol or cigarettes to a teen could face up to 2 years in prison or a fine of up to 20 million won. But now, officials have decided to let business owners off the hook as long as they check CCTV footage and verify that they unintentionally sold them. Now, what do you guys here in the studio think about this latest measure?
Well, I think it's really an appropriate measure because there was actually a case nearby the convenience store where I live, and the 12th grade who just finished his college entrance exam intentionally bought cigarette out from the store, and he reported to the police saying that the store owner gave him the cigarette, and the store owner was punished. So I think it's really unfair for the government to burden the punishment only to the store owners. I think there should be a measure to protect these kind of unfair practices by the youth. I think these youth are getting really more cunning and malicious these days, so I think we really need legal protection measures.
Definitely, we need more legal protection, especially since we're talking about the livelihoods of business owners being at stake. What do you think about the latest measure?
I definitely agree with Sang-yeong. I definitely think there should be protections set for business owners who fall into the traps that some teenagers, unfortunately, go so far beyond to purchase cigarettes and drinks. However, I think it's more important to up the charges and penalties for the teenagers who are actually committing these crimes. Because let's face it, even if we downgrade the fines and the punishment for the business owners, if the teenagers keep doing what they're doing and if they're using these measures and cunning ways to get by the law and not getting the punishment, then I don't think this is going to resolve the situation any further. And going through the CCTV footages may take even a lot more work. So let's really up the charges and punishment for the people that are trying to get by the law.
Also, a point I'd like to point out is how would you verify if there was no intention in that by looking through the CCTV?
Exactly, that's a difficult thing to
Exactly, though I think the intention and the motive of the measure is good, we do need to see practical regulations come forth. But in the meantime, that was our news feed for this Friday, and we're going to switch gears to our main discussion. Christmas is just around the corner, and it's definitely heartening to see so many people embracing the holiday spirit, including yourself, Cheska. Just by looking at you this morning, may I just say, I was so excited because I forgot that Christmas was going to be coming around. But looking at you, I realized it's soon the holidays.
It's very, very soon, yeah.
Now, I can tell that you're very excited for this holiday. Yes. So do you have any plans?
I mean, as you can see, Christmas is definitely my favorite holiday. It's kind of hard to hide. And you know how they ask you questions like, if you were a holiday, what kind of holiday would be? My friends will be like, oh, July 4th. I'm like, on Christmas.
We can tell, we can tell.
So living in New York, we used to go to Rockefeller Center. A lot of ice skating in the Bryant Parks. And, in America, especially New York, because so called, whenever you walk around, it smells like Christmas.
It smells like Christmas.
It feels like Christmas with all the flea markets and just the baked goods and the musics that are playing. For me, because I lived in New York, it was very family oriented. So we would do a lot of cooking, a lot of baking. But I've noticed that in Korea, which we'll discuss further, it's slightly different. I think it's more oriented towards like family and parties outside of the house, which I would call like friendsmas. But yeah, Christmas, this time also I'm getting with my grandparents. We're going to do a lot of cooking and a lot of warm, toasty, things inside the house.
That's really nice. You'll be able to enjoy your family-oriented Christmas here in Seoul.
So, yeah.
What about you, Sang-yeong?
Well, typically I spend Christmas at homes watching Home Alone with my families and friends. But actually,
if you say that after what I said, it sounds so gloomy.
Yeah, but actually this year I'm doing something special for me. I'm going to abroad, Japan, Tokyo.
That's amazing.
Yay me! So
He's
actually,
trying.
Actually, it's a reward for myself because I worked really hard all this year, and so I want to give a special gift for me. So that's why I'm going abroad.
Sweet.
And also, I asked my friends, "What are you going to do for the Christmas?" And some of them said that they are staying home watching OTT dramas and movies, whereas some of my friends said that they're going to go on a ski to Gangwon-do because
really nice.
there are a lot of snow these days.
Yes.
So skiing is actually really fun. And when I was living in the States, I also used to go skiing during the Christmas holidays.
So you really know how to enjoy your Christmas.
Yeah, of course, actually. But I had like dull periods during the COVID, but now I'm going abroad.
You're going
to
abroad.
Tokyo.
You're going to enjoy your Christmas.
Yes, I'm going to have some sushi.
Grace, what about you? What are you doing for holiday?
Okay, so while you guys are having exciting plans for Christmas, I have an exciting plan to be joining you guys here in the studio. I will be working on Christmas Day, but it's okay. Let the festivities still be in the air.
Is it tears that I see? I see a lot of glistening.
They're glistening happy tears. Now, we asked our viewers the same question, and here's what 3 of our viewers had to say in regards to their Christmas plans. Take a look at the screen to find out. Let's start with MIMS. MIMS said, my Christmas plans here in the U.S. include an ornament exchange with my family, baking cookies, sending out cards, decorating the tree, and eating a nice meal with those I love. Rex Alex said, as the Philippines is a predominantly Roman Catholic country, celebrations for Christmas are preceded by 9 days of Misa de Gallo, starting on December 16th, culminating in a midnight mass on December 24th. Toby Ott said, midnight mass, sleep, then Christmas morning, sweet and savory crepes, hazelnut coffee, teeny children sleeping in, hopefully it's snowing, and then starting my all-day turkey prep for Christmas dinner, then extending it with my family. Now, I am very, very happy for all of you viewers who are going to be spending Christmas, and if you guys want to tune in on Arirang, please do so and enjoy it with me.
Again, she's not crying.
Yeah, I'm not crying now. But at the same time, our generation seems to be leading yet another trend of how we spend time over Christmas. So we're going to specifically focus on what young adults do here in Korea.
Absolutely. So as I mentioned before, I think in Korea, generally speaking, it's definitely more friends-oriented than family-oriented. So, I'm seeing at least among my friends and perhaps after COVID, more of a small home parties, just getting a small group of friends together, but renting an Airbnb or going to hotels. And you can also notice this from the market prices. I mean, I don't know what they put in there, but there are cakes that range from like $300. But if you're someone like me, I would be very happy with about $20 cake and a lot of home cooking on the inside.
I mean, they look beautiful though. It does look like a $300 cake.
They look gorgeous.
But then over there, the $20 cake looks good too.
But they are still sweet. As long as I get my sugar fill, I think I would be very, very happy. But also another thing is, I think our generation definitely loves to do hotels. So they would rent out a hotel and just get a group of friends together, which, Sang-yeong will talk more about, and even just going abroad like he's doing.
Right.
So it's definitely more friends-oriented rather than a family-oriented.
Exactly. Our generation is leading Friendsmas. Now, Sang-yeong, what would you say?
Well, like Cheska mentioned, there are some millennials and Gen Zs who buy these cheap cakes and have a house party in their homes. And because, the food price is really expensive these days, and if you want to go to matjip or restaurants, you have to wait a long line in the freezing weather. So rather than that, some youth are preferring to have their own house party and do something worthwhile, like chatting with their families and friends. And after, also there are also like these youth who are trying to stay at hotel, also known as staycation or hokkangsi in Korean.
Yes.
And these hotels actually provide like tailored services to the guests. And actually, you can also make your own alcoholic drinks at the minibar. And really, the Christmas is a most wonderful time of the year.
I love that pun you used
lyrics
right
from the carol.
It is the most wonderful time of the year. And we can't say that Christmas is just confined to our generation and our generation enjoy it. But today's episode is dedicated on focusing on what we specifically do, the young adults,
Yes.
like home parties. And one big trend that I found among our generation is that we're all about the gram. Instagrammable spots that scream Christmas seem to be popular destinations this time of the year. So here in the studio, Cheska, can you take us to where exactly these hot Instagrammable Christmassy locations are in Seoul for our viewers to maybe possibly visit one day?
Absolutely. And you know I love puns.
Yes.
So I came up with this word called what I call grandmas. Like Instagram and Christmas. So I mean, it's one of the prettiest day of the year. So you've got to take advantage of all the brimming lights. There are a few places that are true hotspots, and one is Myeongdong. So in here there is a department hall, and as you can see, they project these huge, glorious media art, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. I mean, there's music playing, you've got the lights, and you've got the movie that's, you know, the LED that's playing, and it's a department store. You know, there's something so exciting about the department store that you get in Christmas. So one tip that I have is because it's crowded with people who are trying to take a great gram shot. If you have a bit of a crowd phobia like I do, take a bus. There's just any bus that passes by. You might not get the best gram photo, but you'll be very safe and toasty. And it's just a gorgeous, gorgeous scene that you just get to see.
And Taeyuk, any other places?
Well, I think everyone should know about this place. It's a department store located in Yeouido, and the department store actually paved an alley themed of Christmas. There's this 11 meters tall Christmas tree, and there's also the street lights that gives you the cozy vibe as if you're in a European small village. So actually, if you go to this Christmas tree, you can see the boys taking photos for their girlfriends, which is really envious for me. And by the way, this Christmas tree is really popular these days. So if you want to go there, you have to make reservation in advance. And the second round of the reservation has already been finished. But still, you can buy the tickets for this Christmas tree on the site. So why don't you give it a try, Yeun? Maybe after you finish the work. Yeah.
And on the screen, we're seeing Lotte, right? Like there's so many beautiful places there. Take us through that, Cheska.
Yeah, you really have to go to amusement parks. I think, you know, Lotte World, as we have seen, is one of them. Everland also does a very Christmas, you know, seasonal holidays. Also, I've been to many botanical gardens because they have the lights coming up. And some of the recommendations that I've gotten, there is Myeongdong Church, and there's also the Seoul Plaza where they have these Christmas trees and just a very festive and warmth all around.
Exactly. There's just so many different places you can visit around here in Seoul to enjoy your Christmas. But to find out what it's like in other parts of the world, we're going to include a global millennial. Let's find out how they spend Christmas. We're going to delve a bit deeper into the evolving holiday traditions by including a fellow global millennial. It's Alexander Pham, who's in Australia at the moment. Given that it's summertime there, I can imagine the Christmas atmosphere is quite different from here in Korea, where we've been seeing snow over the past few days. So welcome, Alexandra. Tell us about Christmas there. How do Aussies spend Christmas? Any latest trends led by millennials and Gen Z these days?
Yeah, well, as you said, Christmas is usually very warm in Australia, so you won't find us like drinking mulled wine or going and staying warm. We're trying to get out into the sun, so we spend time on the beach. We have barbecues. We usually will do friendmas as well. That's a really big trend that's going on. So we'll have a group of people come over to our house, have some nice prawns. I'm sure you've heard shrimp on the barbie, which in Australia we call them prawns, but it is a very popular Christmas dish. We usually have cold foods as well. We have a pavlova, which is meringue and cream, fresh fruit. And I know that's technically a New Zealand dish, but Australia has kind of stolen it. And it's become a huge Christmas tradition. So we kind of flip everything around in Australia. So it's all about being warm, going to the pool, spending time with family, and just, really embracing the heat. We love it.
Awesome.
And thank you for acknowledging that, there's a whole debate about pavlova, whether it's a Kiwi thing or an Aussie thing. So thank you for gracefully acknowledging that.
Of course. I mean, we're the bigger country, so we kind of just take what we want, but really it's yours. So
that is so sweet. So when I was living in New Zealand, also because the weather's flipped, I don't quite remember what I went, but are there any hot places that young adults visit on Christmas holiday there?
Yeah, so usually we will spend time at the beach. So we'll have all of our friends come over, we'll organise a picnic. A lot of parks in Australia have barbecues set up so that you can just set it up yourself. It's a community thing, it's wonderful. But a lot of places are closed in Australia on Christmas Day because we can be a little bit traditional in that sense. So you usually find people walking through the city, seeing the lights. Every city in Australia has their own beautiful decorations. In Melbourne, we have the Maya windows, which every year have a different theme. It's great for kids. But yeah, we usually just spend it at home, which is interesting because it's, I guess it's just a time for family. So you want to be home, you want to be with the ones that you love, eating really good food. And that's what we do. It's usually the best place to be.
Okay, sounds amazing. Maybe I should visit Australia one day. Okay, so finally, what do you plan on doing? Also, any hopes or wishes you have in regards of the new year?
Yeah, so this year we will be having a friendmas at our house. So we're going to be baking gingerbread cookies and decorating them together, exchanging gifts, drinking lovely cocktails, and just, enjoying each other's company. So that'll be great. And my wishes for the new year, I definitely want to travel more. So I will be escaping Australia. I just want to make lots of adventures, and I just wish for peace and happiness next year. I think we all need it.
For sure. And hopefully you'll have a wonderful Merry Friendmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you so much, Alexandra. Pleasure talking to you today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas. Now we're going to end off by wishing off everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Now before I do so, I do have to say, though I am working, I love the year-end holidays. I love spending time with my friends and family. And actually one thing that I did that I would like to give like a few pointers to our viewers is doing Secret Santa and doing Manito. Like I would love giving gifts to my loved ones, and not necessarily just for Christmas, but in the year-end, I think it's a really good time for you to reflect on what you've been doing over the past year, who you spent it the most with, and thanking people around. And that's what it means. That's the year-end festivities.
Yes.
Now, what are your few pointers for our viewers as to how to better enjoy the year-end holidays?
I love the comment that you made. I really think end of the year is such a special time because it can be very reflective, but also very festive. And especially Christmas is a season of sharing and giving. So I hope that all of us here, including Grace and Ian, we actually get to enjoy this lovely time with our loved ones. But because the holiday of giving, I think also if you have time, I think paying a local visit to the community shelters, or even, just making a very small donation to your choice of charity, I think would really enrichen the festivity and warmth, the flavor of Christmas even more.
Because it is the holiday of giving.
It is the holiday of giving.
And
not?
It's not in regards to whether Christmas should be like a religious holiday or not. I think today's episode, we're not just trying to promote this holiday. We're just...
I kind of am.
I mean, you did say
kind of am.
If you were a holiday, you'd be Christmas. But we're more focusing on the festivities here and the culture and the fact that we love enjoying parties, spending time with our friends during this time of the year. Sang-yeop, would you like to have an ending note as well?
Okay, so after seeing Cheska's outfit today, I feel kind of regrettable and sorry for wearing this dull brown jacket.
You know what? I think you finish off her look. She's the upper part of the Christmas tree.
Right. Yeah.
You are the trunk.
The trunk.
And I am the snow.
I love that analogy.
So weird combination. But anyways, continue.
Okay, so as you know, we like experienced the 2 year of COVID-19 over the past years. So we actually haven't felt the Christmas that we have been knowing for so long. But now this is the first Christmas that we're experiencing after the end of the pandemic. So I think this is actually the time where we can actually get together with our loved ones, our families, friends, and like just say a few words of loving, caring words to your families.
Yeah.
So that would
Exactly.
be really nice, actually.
And just in the blink of an eye, we'll soon see the year 2024 come forward.
Oh,
And very
yes.
briefly, anything you guys are looking forward to the new year?
I mean, I'm one of those, I don't know about you guys, that make list of New Year
Yes.
resolutions.
I know.
At the end of the year. I even go so far to actually go through all the month of the year that has been and kind of like make notes on what I did throughout the year. So for me, I definitely have a long list of things that I would like to accomplish but look forward to. But I think it's also important to look back at the year that we've had because those will be the stepping stones for the next year.
For sure. Sangyeol?
So like Chaska, I also make this bucket list for the new year, but the thing is I never make it to the end. But still, the year 2024, I just wish that I can be healthy as well as my friends, families, also you guys too. Yeah, so Happy New Year's, everyone.
Happy New Year's in advance, and hopefully in the year of the dragon, we'll all come back to the studio and talk about whether we had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And from all of us here on News Generation, we would like to wish you a joyous and festive holiday season. Stay tuned for more stories and updates as we'll be here every day from 9:30 to 10 a.m. Korea time, bringing you more topics young people are talking about. Special thanks to Cheska Nainam.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas and Im Sang-yeol.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year! Now, thank you everyone for watching and enjoy your holidays. We are
News Generation.